Aloha everyone, this is Lenora, Hawaii's Pickle Lady. Today we're making ginger chicken. So what you have to do is you have to take a whole chicken, put it in boiling water, and cook it for 1 hour. Okay, the chicken has been cooking for half hour, and I'm just gonna turn it over. I turned it over once before, and the stove is off, and now we're just going to let it sit until the liquid cools. So let's see, they say half hour, but I'm going to leave it for an hour. Okay, the chicken has been sitting with the stove off, just in the liquid, for an hour. And now I'm just going to take it out carefully. I'm just gonna put it in a bowl, cover it up, and refrigerate it until it's cool. And then I'll cut it up and show you the next steps. Okay, the chicken has cooled. I put it in the fridge. So now I'm gonna cut it and arrange it on a platter. So first I cut the wings off. And you can just pull it off like this. And then I'll do the other side. If you try to cut the chicken when it's hot, you're not going to have very much luck because it'll slide all over the place. So because this is a cold chicken anyway, you refrigerate it and you see how firm it is and easy to handle. If it were hot, it would be all over the place. So now I'm going to take the thigh and the drumstick. And you see it's kind of pinkish near the bone, but don't worry about it. It is cooked because it was cooking in the liquid for some time. So I'm just gonna chop this piece in half. And then the other side. And then the thigh. And I'll chop this one in half. So you have to have a good sharp knife to cut this. I'll take the tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the back part off. And some people discard it, but I don't because I like to eat off the bones. That's my pieces, the tail and the bones, the backbone. So it just takes a little bit of practice, but you can do it. Put it in that bowl. Now I'm gonna turn it over on the breast side, and you see the indentation. I'm just gonna cut it in half. And you see I have a damp paper towel under the board so it doesn't move all around. Okay. Now I usually put the breast pieces in the middle. So I'm just going to slice it. Okay, this way I'm cutting right through the bone. The other half, I'll show you another way, because sometimes it's not easy to cut through the bone, especially if you don't have a good knife. And watch your fingers. Okay, so I just put it all together and arrange it on the platter. And some of the scraps I put in here. And a lot of times the scraps, I pull it off the bones and I make chicken salad with it. Everybody likes that. So to this piece, I'm gonna take out the bones so that I can just slice it easy. Okay, now it's nicer presentation here. Keep all the pieces together so when you put it on the platter it looks really nice. And the chicken seems pretty moist. See how fast that was? Okay, now I'm gonna kind of make room here. Well, actually, I'm gonna save some of this for another dish. We're gonna be making bird's nest soup, and they usually have chicken in it, so I'm gonna save this on the side. And then we'll put this one over here. Okay. Now we're going to move to the stove and I'm going to show you how to make the ginger sauce. Okay, and now we're making the ginger sauce. So I have here about a 1/4 cup of oil, just any kind of oil, canola or whatever. Oh, actually I used peanut oil. I happen to have some peanut oil. Chinese like to use peanut oil because it has a nice fragrance to it. But I noticed the Chinese oil, peanut oil, has a better aroma to it. If you buy the kind American type of peanut oil, it has no smell, no taste. So if you can get the Chinese one, it's good for cooking. Okay, so I'm just going to heat it up pretty good. And then I have here 1/2 cup of ginger, 1/4 cup of garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a bunch of green onions. You can start with a cup, but I like a lot of onions, so you can add more. And in the stores, I notice here on the mainland, the green onions come like this, but they chop off this part because I think it gets really ragged and it's hard to maintain. So I've grown this in the backyard here in pots, and you see how nice it is. So I cut all of this and I harvested it, and I like it better. I think I'd rather just grow it myself and then do it, because I like the green part, because in the store they'll cut off about 1/3 of the onion tops. Okay, and this is about 1/2 cup of broth, but you can add more or less, so we'll just start with this. Okay, now the oil is kind of hot, maybe. Okay, you can probably see this is a wooden spoon. I'm testing the oil. You see how hot it is? You see all the bubbles down there? That's what you want. Now the oil is hot. So now I'm just gonna throw in ginger. And you're not gonna cook it that long. You just wanna bring out the flavors of the ginger, and it'll still be kind of crunchy. Okay, now I'm gonna add the garlic. And by the way, to me, green onions are the easiest thing to plant. Just, I buy from the store, I cut off the roots, and then I leave about 3-4 inches, and I just stick it in the ground. And it takes a while for it to grow, but once it starts growing, all you do is you leave the roots in the ground and just cut it off, okay? So now, I'm gonna put in some salt. And a bunch of green onions. Let's see how much we put in here. So you don't want it to burn, so be sure you keep on stirring. Now I notice in the restaurant sometimes they put so much oil, they might put a cup or more of oil, but it's just swimming in the oil. I don't like it. So to give it, I think I can put it all because I like onions, and it cooks down really nicely. Okay. And then now we add some of the broth. And by the way, this is the broth that the chicken was cooked in that I showed you earlier. And I smashed in some ginger and garlic, so it had a really nice ginger taste to it. And again, I think I'm just going to pour it all in. I know it's kind of soupy, but it'll help to moisten the chicken. Just cook it a little bit. Let me taste it and see. Okay, I think it's all right. Just cook it a few more minutes and that's it. Okay, now the sauce is ready. It didn't take very long. So you just drizzle it over the chicken as much as you like. Some people don't like a lot. I like a lot of sauce. So you can also leave some on the side. So people who want more, they can put it on their chicken. And this is traditionally eaten cold, but you can warm it up too. Now, it depends on where you are. Different states, they may not understand what you mean by ginger chicken, because I went to San Francisco Chinatown once and I asked them to make me ginger chicken, and they said what? They didn't understand what I meant. They spoke English, but I tried to explain to them how to make it. Well, okay, then they said okay, we'll try to do it. When it came out, it was nothing like this. What they had done was just stir-fried chicken and put some ginger and garlic, and I did not like that. Okay, so in Hawaii, if you say ginger chicken, any restaurant or takeout place will know what you're talking about. And they usually put the ginger sauce on the side, and then it's up to you how much you want to put. Okay, so let's try it, how it is. This is one of my favorite dishes and very easy to make. You just take some chicken and some ginger. Just the right taste. And if I, like some of the restaurants, instead of the broth, they would put the oil. But you see, I kind of watered it down with chicken broth that it was cooked in. Okay. So If you like this video, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, comment, and like. And if you have any ideas or you have any requests for me to make, let me know, because a lot of people have written in and we try to accommodate all. Eventually we'll get to all the requests. So thank you very much for watching. Mahalo.